Alright, so today we're going through the onboarding form. This is probably the most crucial part of the process in terms of the foundation. So make sure you take your time and you answer each question diligently, because we are going to be basing all our scripts and ads off of this evaluation sheet alone. So you're going to start off with your email, your brand name, put in your brand website, your brand slogan if you have one. So McDonald's has, I'm loving it. Local flying company has Look Up, Go Up. It's a flight school company. So if you have a slogan, put that in there. Your core values. So what are your core values as a brand? Do you value innovation? Do you value transparency? Like, what are your core values? You're going to put that in there. Your brand personality. Are you a fun business? Are you a serious business? Are you a mix of both? So you want to put in your personality here. You're going to upload your visual identity here, logos, banners, anything we could use in our videos. Now, brand voice. What is your communication style? Think of this as your salesman when they go to pitch. Are they usually, happy and playful, or are they serious and professional? So figure out what you want your brand voice to be. Do you want to, insert a little bit of humor, or do you want to be serious and get to the point? Now, then you're going to have your competitor analysis. This part is very important, so really dive into who your top 2 competitors are and put their name and what they offer. And if you can, put in their strengths and weaknesses. This spot is going to take some research, and I recommend that you take some time to really dial down at what they're good at and then what they could improve on, and your advantage, how you're different as a brand, what's your unique selling proposition, and then your market position, where you think you are within those competitors. Now after that, we're going to dive into your product or service. So we're going to get your name of the service or product, a link if you have a website link to it, put it in right here. And this is probably one of the most crucial parts, is your top 5 customer reviews for this particular product or service. So if you're a local business, you're probably going to get these reviews either from Google or Yelp or whatnot. If you're an e-com store selling stuff online, you're probably going to have hundreds of reviews. So really dial down and pick your top 5. Now, the next part is very important. We want you to list 2 customers that would love to share their experience about working with you and using your product. These are the customers that we're going to go out and do a professional testimonial with. So I would write down your top 2. I would also write down an extra 2, maybe, in case one of them bails or both of them bail. So now the next question is your ideal client avatar. If you could imagine one person to be your customer, and it's the perfect person that would love it and that would use it and that would recommend it to their friends, what would that person look like? What would their age be? What's their gender? Where would they live? What's their lifestyle look like? Do they have any specific characteristics, right? So we want to talk about, what does your product solve? Now I'm going to use these golf balls, for example, right? So what problem do these golf balls solve? So the main problem that we solve here is that we help people find the ball on the course. Solution, we help people find the ball on the course by having our balls bright yellow. So what makes your solution better than any other solutions? For example, right, Callaway has these yellow balls, but there's a handful of other companies that also make these bright yellow balls. So you're going to put in your value proposition here. Why should people buy these yellow balls instead of the other yellow balls? So you're going to put that in. Now, the next part is going to be, what is the most confusing part of this product or service, right? What's the most confusing part about this ball? Now, it's a pretty simple part, but let's say if you were a pool installer, right? So what's the most confusing part of installing a pool? Well, the whole process is kind of confusing, so maybe it's the installation process, so you would put that in there. What is the biggest and most common objection you get from prospects for this product? So let's pivot to pools, right? Biggest and most common objection is probably going to be money. We don't have the money for this. Or if it's another objection, right? We don't have the space for this. So write down your biggest objection here for your product. Now, what is the biggest fear this customer might have before buying this product or service? Now, what's the biggest fear that a person might have before buying a pool? So really dig deep into this question right here, because if you find the core reason of that fear and we're able to overturn it in one of our ads, your conversion rates are going to spike through the roof. So really figure out what their biggest fear is. If for a pool installer, it could be, it won't be for me, or something will go wrong, or there's going to be a lot of maintenance once I install it, and things like that. So figure out their biggest fear before they make the purchase. Now here you're just framing the concern, right? So love the idea of having a fiberglass pool, but you're worried about algae growing on the sides. Well, you shouldn't worry, because our fiberglass pools have a special coating where algae doesn't grow. So that's where you would do that. You do that right here. Now, section 4 is your grand slam offer. What is your client's dream goal, like with a pool? Is it to flex on their friends? Is it to have a spot for family gatherings now? Is it to, have a place to swim privately in your own backyard? Figure out what your client's dream goal is and put it in right there. Next, what specific features or benefits of your product or service increase your customers' confidence in achieving their ultimate result or transformation? So, for example, let's say the client's dream is for it to be a family gathering spot, right? The pool. So how can we increase their confidence that the pool will actually do that? So here we could bring on case studies. We could say, hey, this client installed a pool and they said that they had X amount, they spent more time with their friends and family because of the pool. So we would basically put that there, saying, hey, this outcome is realistic, and here's proof to back it up that we can do that for you. So next, how long does it typically take for your customers to start seeing results? So for example, if you're selling golf balls, you're gonna see results immediately, because you're gonna get the product in your hands. So maybe you could say like within a week. If you're selling stuff online, like a PDF file, that'd be immediately. With a pool, it's probably gonna be more than a month. So select that. What effort, time, or resources do your customers need to invest? For example, your customers need to invest, like $20-$40 for a pack of these. For a pool, they're gonna need to invest, a spot on their land. They're going to need to invest the money, and how much more work are they going to need to put in. Ideally, we want to bring this as low as possible. We don't want our clients to work hard. We want to do all the work for them, and we want to show them that, hey, you're not going to be doing much of the work. We're doing all the legwork. That's what you want them to perceive, and that's what you want the ideal situation to look like. And then that's exactly what the next question says. It's how do you minimize their effort or investment with your product. How do you create a sense of scarcity for your product? So for example, if you're selling golf balls, this could be like a limited edition, right? 1 out of 40 or whatnot. So how are you creating that scarcity for your product, or can you even create that? Then what strategies are you using to make customers feel the need to purchase your product or service immediately? The urgency. Are you offering a limited time discount? Or are you saying, hey, if you sign up today, we'll get you in for next month? So you're building a sense of urgency. How are you doing that? Do you have any bonuses that you're adding on? So for example, let's say you're selling these golf balls, right? Buy this golf ball, and a good way to build urgency is if you buy this golf ball, we will give you, a second set for free. That's going to increase urgency, and that's going to give them a bonus. So higher perceived value. Again, try to do the same for your business. So guarantees aren't required, but they are a huge plus, because this is going to remove that uncertainty from your prospect, and it will help them take that step forward. But it all depends on what kind of product or service you have. These are a few examples of what you could offer. And the final details is, what is the best action for a viewer to take after viewing your ad? So they see your ad online. We're going to have a little call to action on the bottom. What is the best action for them to take? And you have that list of actions right here. Now, your next 3 questions. If you're in lead gen, what are your top 3 questions that you want to use in the form? So if you want them to fill out a form, what are the 3 questions in that form that you're going to ask them? Obviously we're going to capture their name, email, phone number, and address if need be. But what 3 questions would you use to qualify? So if you're a realtor, you're going to want to ask, are you planning to buy a house, or are you planning to sell a house, or something else? So that's question number 1. Question 2 is going to be, something else. When are you trying to buy or sell? So, and questions like that you would use to qualify a lead. Now, ad reports we will be sending over weekly. If you'd like, you could change it up. Who will be meeting with the booked leads? So the leads that book on the calendar with you, who's going to be meeting with them. Is it going to be your sales rep? Is it going to be you? Put down their name here and put down their email. And that is the onboarding form. So take your time with this. This is probably the most intensive part of the whole program. After you do this, you could sit back, relax, and we'll be taking care of everything else. But this information is vital to the success of our campaign. So please take your time to fill it out. And all right, I'll see you in the next module.